So today we're going to talk about immunity and allergies with the home essentials kit um, with that have to do with ADHD. So this is something that I've learned a ton about. Um, as everyone knows, I have several children with ADHD. I have one on the spectrum. And I noticed really early on that immunity and allergies were a huge thing. My kids would go from being really, really sick, and I felt like they were catching everything. So a low immunity is something that is actually something that should be really alarming to people. So if you get sick a lot, you can't seem to get over the sickness. Um, Low immunity are some signs of them are you're just tired a lot, your hands are cold all the time, like you never have warm hands. That is a sign of poor blood circulation. Dry eyes, gut issues are a huge one, rashes, headaches, tingling in your hands and feet, those are all connected with your immune system. um, and there is a lot of things you can do. Obviously, exercise, eat more fruits and veggies, more water, getting enough sleep. We're also moms, so sometimes that feels like it's can be really hard to accomplish. Um, Allergies, they can take over your life. So you can go from a great day to having an allergy attack and not being able to function at all. Um, so people that are on the spectrum with ADHD, they already have a really hard time focusing. So any impaired senses at all, so they don't feel good, their allergies, their sinuses are clogged, they have a headache, makes it absolutely impossible for them to be able to function on a day to day. So if you are unaware of yourself or your child who is suffering from allergies that you might not even know about, a lot of people tend to be like, oh, they have seasonal allergies. We went and got my 6-year-old and my 15-year-old allergy tested. It was not a fun process. It's not a fun process at all. My youngest one, he has a whole different set of health issues. He has really bad asthma from a birth defect. But my 15-year-old is ADHD. He is autistic. And from a very young age, he would have he was born with eczema, first off, which you really shouldn't be born with eczema. Um, and then he just would get like these patches of skin and he would scratch it so much that it would just like bleed. And we didn't know what to do. The doctors gave us creams, and it was before I found essential oils. But now I use different things for him that work so much better. But the environment around you, what you're putting in your body. Now, he's 15 years old, he's almost 16, and he has his own job. So he has an ATM card, and we live outside of our neighborhood is a gas station. So when they're walking back and forth to school, or his brother is driving him back and forth to school, they always stop at a gas station. Like, they're teenagers, I can't help, but I can try to limit what they put in their body. Huge things that are allergy triggers are food dyes, um, anything that would have gluten attached to it. Now, I read a book after I found out I had celiac disease, and gluten's not gluten anymore. It is labeled as 500 different things now. It is ridiculous. I have a whole book on like all the different, and it has like 3 chapters of lists of all these different things that contain gluten and what they label it on. So reading labels is super important. Anything that says additive, preservative, anything that you can't pronounce yourself and be like, oh, I know what that is, by like thinking about like knowing exactly what kind of food that comes from, is a huge one. Also, milk is a huge allergy trigger. um I'm trying to get my family to switch over to raw milk. We bought a gallon of it. Actually, a friend brought a gallon of it to me, and my whole family, most of my family actually loved it. but there were those few that were like, it says raw milk, I'm not drinking that. But it tastes exactly the same as the other milk, and they were just like throwing a fit about it. But unfortunately, in the time that we live in, they want food to last longer. So they add things to them, which can then create an allergy reaction to your child. And children who are on the spectrum or have ADHD are more likely, they have a higher percent to have an allergy to a food, to clothing, because they put things in clothes. Now, I was not aware of that. And then somebody had said something to me about a company of clothes. And so I researched it and I was slightly mortified. They put it, obviously, we've talked about cleaners and everything that they put it in, but also that was one thing that we noticed with my son when he was little, was the detergents we were using. We had to go to free and clear. And now that I make my own detergents and we use wool balls and I make my own dryer ball spray, he hardly ever breaks out. He does sometimes, but I've noticed a huge reason why the spots he tends to break out in are his arms right here. And it's because he usually has his arm around his girlfriend, and her family uses a different kind of detergent than we do, obviously. So, and that's just like where he's touching, where he has his arm around her on her sweater or whatever, his arm breaks out right there. It's just that arm, because I know which arm he uses all the time. So, but the reason that allergies and immunity issues are connected is there's an actual reason, and I really dug deep into why. There is a protein in your body, and it's a genetic protein called IL-1. And it is involved in the immune inflammatory response. So when we have an allergy attack, when we have an immune attack, it's usually because our our immune system is inflamed in some way. Our allergies are inflamed, our gut is inflamed for whatever reason of whatever we've consumed into our body. So my son had a lot of gut issues when he was younger. I have an autoimmune disease. I have celiac disease. So my gut gets inflamed quite a lot, and I've done a lot of work um to heal my gut. But there are ways to heal your allergy system, to your immune system. And as I mentioned before, ADHD experience higher occurrences of infections, diseases, inflammatory issues, sensitivity, and intolerance to things. Um, and they've just semi recently, in the last, like, I don't know, 10, 15 years, associated with this one protein called IL-1. So that's something to actually consider and look into for your kiddos or yourself when you're looking at it. So the Home Essentials Kit has so many different things, but really fast, I'm going to talk about diffusing. So for my family, the one oil that I do, I was just talking to a friend just this morning about this, is Airx. I don't know if anyone has used it before, or they have it and they're like, gee, I don't know what to use that for. So Airx is literally for the air. It's a purifying blend to get all those toxins out of your air. So when we're sick, or my kids come home, or they're like, oh mom, little Jimmy threw up in class today, and I totally freak out and I'm spraying them down with On Guard and bathing them in it. I also diffuse Airx. It also helps with kids who do have asthma. It helps clear their airways and everything, but this is a great one for people who have allergies. So you can put it in there with Breathe. It has in it, let me see if I can read this really tiny writing. It has Leticia, tangerine, grapefruit, frankincense, cardamom in it already. So that's what the Airx blend is. And it smells amazing. I think it smells great. My kids, it's a go-to for my kids all the time. But for people who have allergies or asthma because of allergies, diffusing is really great. for their respiratory systems and cleaning everything out. The other thing I use is I created not that one. I created an allergy blend. So I took the lavender, lemon, peppermint, but I added eucalyptus to it, and I will roll it on the bottoms of their feet. I will roll it down their spine, and then I'm going to show you. I will roll it down their nose, the bridge of their nose, and down the side. And then we all know that touch is amazing when it comes to essential oils. So if you take your hands and don't rub up, only rub down and in a downward motion like this, and then lift your hands and do it again, it will encourage the sinuses to drain. So because if you're rubbing up, then it's just encouraging it to go upwards, and you don't want that. You want it to just drain and go down. So always do it in a downward motion and then lift your hands and do it again. I've noticed a huge difference with myself. I did that while I've had this cold that my children so graciously gave to me. And it has helped a lot. It's just like it helped. I wasn't as congested and stuffed up. So I apologize. My slides got kind of out of order and I'm not sure how, oh, there it is. Okay. So lavender is really great for rashes. Kids that have ADHD tend to have a lot of skin issues. So rashes are an issue. Whitley said, that's so cool about the downward motion. It is. I actually read about it somewhere. I have no idea where I read about it, but I did. And so then I read about it in something else that had to do with the gut. And like when you were like rubbing for babies that are constipated. And then I was just like, well, if it works for that, it should work for other things too. So, and it did. So lavender is one of the oils for the allergy balm. The allergy balm, I have kids who hate taking capsules. So I will take a little shot glass with water and I'll put a drop of lavender, lemon, and peppermint in it, and they will take it and they'll shoot it back, and it really helps with his allergies. Also, it really helps with itching. It's a soothing oil. It's really great for the bath with Epsom salts if they're having a really bad allergy attack. Frankincense is amazing for your immunity, building that immunity. You could do a drop under your tongue. You could roll it down the spine. You can roll it on the feet. You can take it internally. Peppermint is another one from the allergy balm. It's amazing also for opening your sinuses, reducing headaches, pain reducer, fever reducer. It's great. A drop of it on your thumb, press it to the roof of your mouth and hold it for a couple of seconds, and it opens everything up. It's amazing what it does. Deep blue is also great for opening those airways. And I never thought I would think that deep blue, because I always thought that deep blue was just for pain, but it's great for asthma and allergies. It opens your airways. We have the deep blue stick that doesn't come in the kit, but you can always add it on. And it just opens my son's airways amazingly. Eden taught me that. And then lemon again is an air purifier as well. It's great for your water. It's great. It's the other one in the allergy balm. I'm not sure. I don't have my eucalyptus with me. Maybe Whitley knows. I'm not 100% sure that you can ingest eucalyptus. I don't think you can. I want to say that you can't. Maybe Peyton knows. I don't know. So the deep blue stick is amazing for clear breathing. Yes, Randy, I swear by it. Yeah, Eden has a lot of issues with asthma. Brooke, you're right. So I'm not sure if you can ingest eucalyptus. So don't quote me on that, but I never have him ingest it. I just have a eucalyptus roller that he rolls on to help.
Eucalyptus does not have the supplement facts on it.
Okay, yeah, so
Um,
probably don't ingest it just to be safe.
and I'm pretty sure me and my sister do flowers. And I think we looked it up because we decorate cakes sometimes with, and
Uh-huh.
a lot of people use eucalyptus, the
Okay.
plant. And I'm pretty sure we came across a warning saying, like, this is a toxic to ingest.
Okay.
Um,
So don't put eucalyptus in the allergy balm if you're going to take a shot of it.
don't put it on your tongue.
Yeah. So, but it's really great to open the airways and for topical use only. So, and then breathe is amazing. It is uplifting, it opens your airways, it's refreshing. They also have the breathe, I don't have any in here with me. They have the breathe cough drops that saved me this week. Um, they're amazing. Oregano is amazing for your immune system. It's strengthening, it's antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, which is so great because usually most of those sicknesses because something is inflamed. That's why we're having an issue. So it's antiviral. So is tea tree. It's antiseptic. Tea tree also is soothing and it helps with rashes. Sorry guys. On guard is amazing. We go through a bottle quite often. Um, it's purifying, detoxifying, immune boosting. I just reordered the On Guard soft gels. A couple of weeks ago, we had a meeting and we were talking about, I don't remember exactly the wordage. So if someone wants to jump in, they can. But we're talking about taking the On Guard soft gels every day to protect your immune system. Because just like if you get into a car accident, you wouldn't be like, oh crap, I got in a car accident and then put your seatbelt on because it would not help you at all. So when you get sick, you shouldn't start taking the soft gels. It will help, but it will be more beneficial for you to be taking it every single day. So I have kids who take the soft gels, and then I also have the beadlets for my little one because he can't quite swallow a soft gel yet. Um, and so Randy just said an amazing diffuser blend is Brie Lemon and Copaiba. Oh, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that down right now because that does sound good for congestion. Okay, sorry guys, I need to write this down. I have to because I will forget. And then these disappear, the chats disappear later. So thank you, Randy. Everyone should write that down. That's amazing. So and then he takes the beadlets every single day. He takes them every morning and every night because he does have really bad asthma and he is susceptible to catching things a lot quicker than most kids. I give it to him in the morning and at night, and I've noticed a huge difference for him. Um, and then digestion. So when it comes to kids with ADHD and that are on the spectrum, gut issues are huge. And next week, that's what I'm going to be talking a lot about is the gut issue in my last class. It's huge. Kids, they can't poop. They don't eat the right foods because they have so many sensory issues to textures and everything. So they're just having so many different sensory issues. So then their gut is affected later from it. So digestion is amazing. And this month, it's free with a 200 PV order with the soft gels too. I also have a child that has GERD who uses it. It helps with nausea. It helps with the bubble gut. So just like, like the indigestion, it's amazing for all of those things. And I am so thankful that I have all of these things. I did want to tell you about an immunity balm roller that I make, and um I have some information about it. Whitley, I love digestion too. My kids tend to like the tamer better because they said it smells better, and it does. It smells way better than the digestion, but that's okay. So I had made these graphics a while ago, and I put them up here if you guys wanted to take pictures of them or wanted a copy of them. I will also be sending the link for all the slides in the Voxer. So you guys can have these if you want to share. So the immunity roller recipe is right here. I put this in a 10 milliliter roller and I use it every day and night on my kids. I rub it down their spine and I have them put it on their feet. And I've noticed a huge difference that they're not getting as sick. So all my kids got colds and they all only had it for a couple of days. And I truly believe it's because I have them taking On Guard soft gels every day and I'm rubbing this on it, which has On Guard, tea tree, and oregano in it, which are super great for fighting it off. So I also have this other graphic that has all the it has different recipes for the diffuser that are using AirX, just because it's one of those oils that unless someone's really done a lot of research on it, they don't always know a lot. So I can send these in the Voxer too, or you can take a screenshot of it, whichever one you like. So, and then, but that's my class. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Oh man, your husband had COVID. I'm so sorry. Okay, I am going to stop recording, but you guys can keep talking. Did anyone have anything to say?
I was just going to say really quick, going back to the food stuff that you mentioned, like how it relates with ADHD and stuff like that. I was just talking to someone this morning about my little guy. He does not have, I've never had him diagnosed or anything like that, but he doesn't have anything like that. However, the food that you put in your body affects your emotions. It just does. And so with him, I think I've told you this, sugar is a huge issue with him. And I always joke with him that he's allergic to sugar. And he tells people now that he is, which I mean, honestly, it probably is an allergic reaction in a sense, because immediately after he has sugar, he goes crazy. He like just his emotions, his behavior is way different than if he does not have sugar in his body. And we reduce that. We don't have a lot of it, but you know, kids are kids. They have treats. We take them out to eat, that kind of stuff. But I honestly, as a mom, regret it every single time that I'm like, well, let's go get an ice cream cone. And he's like, I'll be good. And I'm like, no, you won't, because they have that reaction. And I don't know, that just amazes me how that food can affect allergies like that too.
Yeah, it's those processed sugars because I've noticed with my kids, if I use like raw sugar or coconut sugar, they have a different reaction to it than the normal at the store white sugar that everyone uses. That's like $1 for 75 pounds. So, did anybody else have anything to say? I know I made this one super short and sweet. Are we good?
I love it. I think this information is so good, especially for moms who have new kids or are new to any sort of ADD, ADHD, or even eczema. When I had my little boy with eczema, I didn't use essential oils then. And I wish so badly there was a class like this that I could have learned and someone could have said, hey, use this on their eczema, because I tried different soaps for like laundry and bath soap, and it's really frustrating. So this would be so good to advertise on your stories about if your kids have any sort of like skin or allergy issues, to listen to this class, because we could be helping so many moms. So thank you for doing that research. And like the L1 or the L1-1, I don't remember what it was,
Yeah.
but that was so cool that you researched that. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I'm the kind of person that's like, why is that happening to somebody's body? Like, it's not it because doctors, when you go into a doctor's office, they're like, oh, it's just because. And I'm like, no, there has to be a legitimate reason why this is happening. So, and so that's why I always try to find why it's happening. So, hi, Eden. She came. You're muted.
Hi, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
What's up, guys? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep
No,
doing your
you're fine.
thing.
We're like literally right at the end. We were about to say goodbye. But
Oh my gosh.
I'll put the recording in the Voxer so you can watch it.
Please do. I love you guys so much. And I know that this was probably the best class ever and I could have really used it.
Oh, you guys, look at this picture. Brooke sent it to me.
Ooh.
It's this picture. Her friend's son has this reaction, and they're trying to figure out
can't see it from.
Yeah,
what.
I wanted to show Whitley really because
Yeah.
I know your
That's
son
crazy.
has eczema, but my best friend's little guy, he's 4. This is how bad it's gotten. And she went to a holistic doctor and they have him on sulfur tablets now to try to like clean out his gut. But she's like desperate to figure out what is wrong. And unfortunately, they don't have a lot of money. And right now, she's not willing to purchase oils, which drives me crazy. But I gave her a roller and that stung him, even though it was super diluted. And so I was like, oh, I need to get Whitley's spray and try that on him too. It's looking a lot better. They're starting to heal up a little bit more, but this was about 2 weeks ago. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Does he itch them? Like,
Yeah.
It looks like it bothers him, so he's picking
Yeah,
at it.
they bought him some bamboo socks and stuff, and it's been bad.
Oh, poor baby.
I know.
Brooke, what
Honestly,
was the
even just a
roller that-
little bit of fractionated coconut oil is so helpful for your skin. So even if you had like a sample, just to give her a little bit, you know, to like help moisturize his skin. But oh my goodness, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brooke, what was in the roller that you gave her?
There was tea tree. Thank you. Sorry, I'm getting groceries. There was tea tree, lavender, helichrysum, and I want to say one other, but I can't remember what exactly it was. Frankincense. There's frankincense.
Okay. Hey, I know Whitley, her son has eczema, and so her roller has worked so well on him. So try what she has done. I also would maybe, and I don't know if you have these oils to make her like a little sample and to try it. I love grapeseed oil. I feel like grapeseed oil is the best. doTERRA used to have a sensitive skin carrier oil. And literally after we get off this call, everyone email doTERRA and be like, yo, where's the sensitive skin carrier oil? Because they discontinued it and I'm pissed. I have like 2 bottles and they're sacred to me. I only use them like in emergencies. But the main ingredient in it is grapeseed oil. And it is so nourishing to like irritated skin. So what I honestly would do, even if that's just like the only thing she got, that's not even from doTERRA, so she won't think you're trying to sell her. Tell her to get grapeseed oil from bulkapothecary.com and be like, try this. Like this carrier oil is so good for skin. If you want to like make her a roller, I would do copaiba and frankincense for sure. I would heavily dilute it since his skin is so irritated, like literally maybe even 1 drop each, and just start with that. I also would do a drop of Balance. And I know that's maybe a weird oil, but I love Balance for skin. And if you look at the ingredients in Balance, it has really good skin oils. It has cedarwood, it has blue tansy, which are both really good for the skin, but Balance is cheap, where blue tansy is expensive, right? So it's kind of like my hack to get those expensive oils in a cheaper option. But I would just maybe try that. And I would try one at a time. So like I would do grapeseed oil and then just put like a drop of the Balance in and put it on and like experiment. And then I would do grapeseed oil and I would try like the drop of copaiba and just kind of play around with that. But I feel like, and like Yarrow Palm too, but I can see how maybe Yarrow Palm is the OG of oils, wouldn't you say, Whitley? But where it's that bad, I'm like, I almost want like very, very, very gentle.
That reminds me, that one did have Yarrow Palm in it for sure. No,
Okay.
it did. Because I specifically
and I would recommend Yarrow Palm. Yeah.
But
and I would recommend Yarrow Palm, but once again, it's just like that one's very strong. Even in my 10 milliliter roller that I make for my kids, just when they have a rash or something, I'll only do like 2 drops of Yarrow Palm just because it is strong. So where his skin is super sensitive, I would maybe do like a pinpoint of it. I don't know. And maybe
And
experiment.
because
with
it's
that.
on both of his legs, if she can remember, if she's willing, she could even try like the one above his knee and then the one on the top of his foot, and then do the two separate oils to see how they react and which one's good. And I just sympathize so much because it is so frustrating. My little boy breaks out a lot when he gets into chlorine, and not this bad, but as a mom, it is so hard to be like, what am I doing wrong, or what am I not doing enough to help my little boy have good clear skin? And like, especially those look like they hurt him bad, so that's so hard for her. So maybe
Yeah,
even
they've
give
like,
her some
I was just gonna
adaptive.
say, like switch sheets and clothes and honestly everything.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is she's trying to decide what it was that triggered it. But she's like, we didn't have these issues until like 2021. And she's like, and the only thing I could think of is before that, we only ever gave him ibuprofen. And that time somebody suggested Tylenol, and she started giving him Tylenol. And she's like, our go-to now has always been Tylenol. And so she's wondering if that has like triggered something in his body to cause that. But it's not just his legs. I mean, the worst are his legs and his hands. But it's like his face, his chin, his chest. It's everywhere. It's so sad. But I think it was Veronica that told me to try the digestion tablets, or like whatever the digestive system tablets are, and see if like that can kind of help clear out his system too. I don't know, but I like that, trying one little spot of each of those. So thank you guys.
Keep us updated on it. I'm curious to see if it helps.
Okay, because I only have free Zoom, I only have 3 minutes and 13 minutes left. And 13
Real
seconds.
quick, I just want to say something with my autoimmune. I've gone back and forth to the doctors so many times, and they've always said the same thing about how an autoimmune is triggered. And you might have gone over this in the beginning of the class, but we always kind of have it in our DNA, and then something super stressful, like anything physically or emotionally, can actually trigger it to come out. So it doesn't have to be necessarily something he ate or consumed. It could be a stressful environment at school, or anything like a big move, a divorce, anything like that. I don't know his personal life or anything like that, but I'm just, because we're going through with my 6-year-old, we don't know if she has celiac or not. And so those were some of the things that the doctor told me to look out for as far as like emotional stressors.
Okay, I just have to add to that, Taylor. Message me, because I'm actually doing Amanda Porter's Essential Emotions coaching program right now. And it kind of like, it's interesting to see what emotions come out and they relate back to that. So might be of help.
Yeah. Well, I have an autoimmune, so I know that it probably stems from me. And obviously, like, I'm not divorced, so I know that it's not like we haven't moved. I know that it's not like a huge event in her life, but she is a lot more emotional than my other kids. So I know it stems from emotions, and on top of it, it is triggered by food and, the stuff that's on and around her body. Yeah, you.
Thank you. So cute. I'm so glad you shared that, Taylor.